No problem. No problem at all.
Today on the Matt and Ann Show, we welcome two-time NHL All-Star Scott Gomez. Welcome to the show, Scott. How you doing?
Thanks for having me, guys. Thank you.
No problem.
Everything's good. Good. Nothing. It's a good day here in Alaska. That's for sure.
I understand you're in Alaska. How is it out there? Is it cold right now, or is it real hot there?
No, it's for us. It gets like 70 degrees to us is pretty hot because the sun's a little different. Nothing to complain about, guys. It's good to be back home.
I also understand you played for the Alaska Aces during the lockouts. What was that like playing in your home state? Because obviously there's not a lot of professional or minor league teams in Alaska.
Yeah, it was. It was quite the experience. I got not only myself, but there was like 6 of us Alaskans that were on the team. It was during the lockout. I went over to Russia, checked it out, and they kept me a spot here, and that's what I wanted. I wanted to be home, give back to my state, and made some great friends that I would have never met playing with them. But the town was rocking. I mean, we had a great team. It was like growing up and going to the Sylvan Arena when we were kids. I mean, it was the event to do, and I'm so glad I got to do that, and it was incredible for all of us.
That's awesome.
I want to know more about a story. Can you elaborate more about a story?
He understands you have a lot of great stories about Pat Burns.
You want to hear? Yeah. I was fortunate to play for the late great Pat Burns. By far, still to this day, probably one of the scariest human beings I've ever met. I was younger, so I was on Burnsy's. I was one of his whipping boys to start it off, and but I earned his respect. I went through it, and he made me not only a better hockey player, he made me a better person off the ice. Just he was quite the man. I got to talk to him before he passed away, but Pat Burns was he could run a bench, he could run a room, and like I said, the intimidation factor. He kind of was a curse because after I played for Burns, no other coach ever really scared me.
Can you tell us about the famous Wahhh story that Pat Burns did?
Oh, we were in Carolina, and I took we had a power play at the end of the game, and I took a penalty to get us off the power play, and I ended up getting extra couple more minutes, a 10-minute misconduct. I got kicked out of the game because I said stuff to the ref I probably shouldn't have said. And Burns, I think Carolina scored like 4 more goals. And anyway, it just started the season. We're all new to Pat Burns, and he came in the room, and he just kind of went around, and he said, "Now I get it. Now I get it." Stood there in the middle of the room and started going, wah, wah, wah. He just did that for like 30 seconds, which is a long time. And anyway, the next day we were at this resort in Georgia, and guys could go golfing or fishing, whatever. And me and a bunch of guys went fishing, and we were on the boat, and Burnsy and the coaches were right there. And so we're drifting away, and our one of the stick guys didn't know what happened in the room last night. So we started going, all I heard in the room was wah, wah. And we're like, hey, shut up. That's, Burnsy could hear that. It's on water. And he was like, I can't hear it. And not 2 seconds later, my phone rang. I didn't know who it was. I picked it up, and it was Pat Burns. And he's like, you're the last effing guy that should be whacking anything. Like, and I didn't even do it. So yeah, it was quite, it was quite something. It was something else.
I also know you have some great stories from your rookie year of Claude Lemieux.
Yeah, I mean, we could be here forever. Claude Lemieux was you know, he's a great mentor. He's a great friend to this day. But yeah, he came in and brought a definitely a winning attitude, sort of saying. I was fortunate and unfortunate to be his line mate, and I took the brunt of everything. But yeah, Claude Lemieux was just he was one of a kind, but a true winner, and it was the reason why I got one Stanley Cup.
What do you think he did? Like every team he went to, it didn't matter who it was, they always ended up winning. What was it about him that just made every locker room turn into a playoff contender when he got there?
Well, I just first of all, you know, he's a winner. He had the winning mentality. He expected everything to be professionalized, or you know, everything to be at a certain standard. He presented himself like a pro. He worked as a pro. I mean, every day in practice, and there was no fear in the guy. I mean, the bigger the game, the better he played. He was literally one of those guys. When the stakes are on the line, you want that guy on your side, and you know that rubs off to all of us. Just watching his work ethic, watching him lead, paying attention, everything this man did. You just learned from him, and it was quite the experience. But there's a reason why his pedigree goes with him, because anywhere he went, man, they won, and during playoff time, there's no better guy to have it in the world, that's for sure.
You were talking about playoff time. Do you think his playoff career, along with what he did in the regular season, should get him in the Hall of Fame? Because his playoff numbers are insane.
Yeah, I mean, if I don't know if that'll ever happen, but you bet. If the regular season's unreal. It's long. It's hard. It's guys bring it in day in, day out. But when the playoffs come, that's where like Claude Lemieux used to say, the little boys go home and the men come to work now. And he backed it up, because he was I mean, for his playoff stats and just him alone, I mean, yeah, he'd be a first ballot Hall of Famer just because of that. He was that special in the playoffs. And he was a great regular season player too.
Yeah.
Elaborate more about our team.
NHL.com. You had the Scotty Goes show on NHL.com, and now you have the Scotty House show too. Could you tell us more?
It started. Me and we're gonna do these Alaskan documentaries. Me and TJ Webb, and we had the same idea, and we ended up hooking up, and that's right when the pandemic started. So we couldn't really interview people. So he's a professional camera guy, Instagram, all that. And what happened was we were just in Anchorage, and like everyone else, didn't know what to do, going a little crazy, stir crazy, and came up with this idea where, hey, there's so many Alaskan survival shows, so why don't we make start making little funny videos and how to survive in Alaska. And it was basically just for laughs and for friends, and and it took off. People really got a kick out of it. We started doing shows, and then eventually the Scotty House got picked up by the NHL. So we did those 5 shows for the playoffs. But it was just kind of a dumb little idea. Here we go, and it took off. So we had fun with it. People seemed to enjoy them, and it's just doing our part to make people laugh, I guess, during that time.
Yeah. You played for Team USA during the 2006 Olympics. What was that like, representing USA in the Olympics? Because the Olympics are going on right now. And have you?
Yeah, I mean, it's right now. It was first of all, it was an honor to get to represent our country, United States, and I just the guys on the roster. I mean, getting to play with all those American, and hockey legends. That was something special. It was in Torino. We didn't do that well, but anytime you growing up, and anytime you got to represent the national team, you always took pride in it. And I mean, just seeing all the other athletes being in the village, it was quite it was a great experience, and I'm so happy and proud that I got to represent the United States.
You won a Stanley Cup your rookie year. You also won it, I think, in your fourth year, and you went to the finals your second year. So you went to 3 out of 4. You were in the finals. What's that like starting your career off basically just winning like that?
Well, just gives kudos to the New Jersey Devils, that's for sure, in the organization. Starts from the top. Right when you walked in, you got a certain amount of, okay, you're a rookie, but after a while, it was you're here for a reason. You're here to help win. To be honest, it was just something I kind of just knew. I mean, this is what it was. We go to the playoffs, we win. So I definitely got spoiled. It kind of was a curse too, just the fact that winning that young and being there and not being able to, ever go back to the Stanley Cup final. Because there's nothing like making it to the finals and just playing in it, and the atmosphere, the crowd, everything. It just goes up 100%. But yeah, I mean, those were some of the greatest times of my life. Just being around those guys. We'll always have a special bond just because we won Stanley Cups together. Normal for my first 4 years. This is what you do. But yeah, I was very fortunate to be with the New Jersey Devils. That's for sure.
Do you ever caught your eye or maybe be close and
You ever think about being a coach, or has that opportunity ever arose?
Yeah, I mean, I did TV for a year, and then I coached with the Islanders for a couple of years. It was a great experience. Great staff, being around, locker room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was something, if it ever did come up again, I'd have to think about it. But it was a great experience for guys that are just starting their career, and you want them to succeed, you want them to do well. And I think that's kind of what hockey is always about, like, is giving back. And your coaching is definitely something that you could.
Obviously, you've kept up with hockey since you retired. What do you think about the offseason so far? The draft was last week, and there's been a lot of surprise signings lately. What do you think about all the moves?
Yeah, I think it's it's always exciting this time of year to go through it, and then now seeing it, it changes guys' lives. I mean, whether you're getting traded or you're signing somewhere, it happens every year. I mean, like today, just found out, you see stuff like that, and you're just extremely proud playing in the NHL. And but yeah, this time of year, I think for everyone, especially because the Olympics going on, there's not much in sports. So yeah, this time always the signings and the trades and the offseason. It was always it's always fun. Always fun to keep tabs on what's going on.
From a coach, what do you look to from a player? What are you looking for? What did you look for?
As a coach, what would you look for in a player you're coaching? Like,
I think you're just basically looking for. I mean, there's a lot of video that maybe gets a little too much, but you're there to help out. Meaning, if you see guys how they're receiving the puck in the corners, angles, their body position, you're helping them out. Just any little tidbit you can think of, like, hey, stand here, or shake a guy off this way. Like I said, you're kind of just helping out. I mean, because once the game starts, I mean, it's the best league in the world. It's so fast. I mean, these guys are professionals. They know what they're doing. And yeah, I mean, you're basically building up confidence. And my thing was helping guys show them on the ice. I mean, you can show video till the end, but if you're showing a guy and helping him out on the ice, there's nothing better than that. I mean, so that's the thing you just look for, like any little thing a guy can put in his mind to have, and whether you're full of it or not, you're helping the guy out, and I think that's always important.
I got a couple more questions for you, but one of them is Ovechkin just re-signed with the Capitals for 5 years. I think he's 150 goals away from Gretzky. You think he's going to do it?
He stays healthy, and the way he keeps going, I mean, I can't see why not. I mean, 150 goals for most of us is a career, and this guy could, who knows how, he could pump him out in 3 years. I mean, it's just he's incredible. It's been unreal to watch him. It's been unreal to see his career from day one. And yeah, I mean, you talk about a superstar. I mean, Ovechkin, he's one of them. So yeah, if he stays healthy, that might be a record that we could see broken.
Absolutely.
Is there a player that reminds you of yourself in the league right now?
Is there a player that reminds me? Just because I coached him or helped him out, and I love watching Matthew Barzal. I mean, the stuff he can do, it's incredible. I can't say I can do any of that, but as far as just seeing the ice and the ability to make plays, I mean, Barzy's he's a special talent. Like I said, I'm not even putting my in the same category, same breath, but I mean, kind of there's some similarities between me and his game, and I'm a huge fan of his, that's for sure.
My last question for you is: you played in the world's most famous arena, MSG. What was that like?
It was a dream. I mean, it's just playing there on the road, and then as a visitor, and then being able to play for the New York Rangers in Madison Square Garden. It's one of the highlights of my career. I mean, it is. I mean, just the stuff the Garden offered. I mean, basketball games, concerts, show. I mean, everything. It was unreal to be a part of that, and I loved it. And it is. If you took a survey with most guys, they'd probably put Madison Square Garden up there because it's a special place.
My last question: do you have a favorite memory when you were playing, or a favorite game, or?
Favorite memory? Well, obviously, I'm sorry.
Oh no, go on, go.
Favorite memory. I mean, obviously making the NHL, playing your first game, that was always something special. And I mean, let's face it, winning the Stanley Cup twice and just being a part of that and being in the finals and just what goes on with it. It was incredible. And those are memories I'll always cherish. And, when we get together, the guys all together, I mean, it's still just, you can't believe how fast it went and how long ago it was, but, we're all together, just the stories and the, just reminiscing about how to be the best in the world that year and to realize how hard it is and what we accomplished. I think as a team, those will always be my top memories.
Awesome. We want to thank you, Scott, for coming on the show today. It's an absolute honor. We were a huge fan of yours. Scott Gomez, everyone. Thank you.
All right, guys. Hey, have a great one.